Buckle up, because today we're talking about one of the most critical truths in modern relationships: how a woman's sexual history impacts her ability to emotionally bond, form real attachment, and stay satisfied in a long-term relationship. Let's begin with how bonding works biologically. Women are wired to attach emotionally to the men they sleep with. This is an opinion. It's hard-coded through oxytocin, the bonding hormone released during sex. It's designed to build connection, trust, and attachment. But here's the part no one wants to talk about. That system isn't unlimited. It degrades. If a woman goes through that process again and again, bond, break, eventually the system stops functioning the way it was designed to. Think of it like using duct tape. The first few times, it sticks perfectly. But the more you peel it off and slap it back on, the weaker it gets. After enough repetitions, it doesn't hold at all. The same thing happens emotionally. A woman who has had a high number of sexual partners loses the intensity of that bond-forming process. It becomes mechanical, numb, shallow. That deep emotional spark that's supposed to tie her to one man over time, it ends up fading. So what does this look like in real life? It looks like the guy who's doing everything right, but feels like he's dating a wall. She's physically there, maybe even affectionate on the surface, but emotionally, she's checked out. There's no fire behind her eyes, no deep spark, no feminine softness that comes from a woman who's truly connected to her man. And he's left confused, frustrated, thinking it must be something wrong with him. Now imagine this. Imagine being a woman with over 100 sexual partners. All the men were her type. All of them gave her that temporary high, the excitement, the thrill. But none of them stayed, none of them committed. None of them built anything with her, so every time that bond formed and then shattered, over and over again. What does that do to her psychology? Her ability to attach, it destroys it. It numbs her. She's been burned too many times to care anymore. Even if she wants to connect, she can't. The receptors are dead. This is where the alpha widow phenomenon comes into play. She once had that one man, maybe more than once, who imprinted on her. He had the looks, the confidence, the status, the dominance. And that experience stuck. Every man after is compared to him, not consciously. It's deeper than that. It's biological. And the result is brutal. No one else ever feels like enough. No matter how good the most recent guy is, he's living in someone else's shadow. He's trying to spark emotions that have already been burned out chasing someone better. Someone who left an imprint she'll never forget. And it's not just about who she once had. It's also about what she once felt. When a woman has had a chaotic, dopamine-filled dating history full of wild experiences, threesomes, cheating, club nights, and impulsive hookups, normal intimacy doesn't register anymore. The bar is set so high in terms of stimulation that an average, stable man feels like a downgrade. He's too predictable, too calm, too normal, and she loses interest quickly. You'll see this in her restlessness, her short attention span in relationships, her craving for chaos. It's not a personality quirk. It's a side effect of how she's lived. The more extreme her past, the more boring her present will feel. And the more likely she is to either check out, cheat, or jump to the next guy the second she feels that familiar sense of emptiness return. Eventually, these women stop believing in monogamy altogether. Not because it's morally wrong to them, but because they can't feel what monogamy requires. Loyalty means nothing if the bond isn't there. And it's not. They burn it out. So they convince themselves that it's not them. It's the concept of commitment that's broken, that all men are boring, that relationships are just temporary arrangements. They become emotionally unavailable and try to act like that's empowering. Meanwhile, the men who commit to them get wrecked. These guys show up with good intentions. They're loyal. They're dependable. They're ready to build something real, and they're rewarded with coldness, disinterest, and quiet contempt. Not because they did something wrong, but because they're trying to pour emotion into someone who can't hold it anymore. And let's get something straight. This isn't just about whether a woman's had a past. It's about how she lived that past. Did she use her youth to chase chaos? Did she trade respect for validation? Did she burn out her emotional system in a constant loop of dopamine hits and breakups? If so, there's nothing left to bond with. No matter how sweet she acts, the wiring is fried. The damage is done long before you ever show up, and the guy who thinks he's going to change her or be the one who finally gets her to settle down, he's delusional. He's not the one she wants. He's the one who showed up after the damage. She might use him for a while, for security, for comfort, but she's not connected. She's running on autopilot. This is why men need to stop ignoring sexual history. Not for purity reasons, not for some outdated standard, but because it matters. A woman's past shapes how she relates to you, how she bonds, how she loves, or if she even can. And pretending otherwise is how you end up pouring your life into someone who's already emotionally empty. There are still women out there who are capable of deep love, real intimacy, and long-term connection. But they're not the ones who've lived fast, broken themselves emotionally, and numbed out their bonding mechanism. They're the ones who made better choices, and they do feel different. You'll know it when you see it. So the message here is simple. Pay attention, ask questions, look past the surface. You're not just dating the woman in front of you. You're dealing with her history, her patterns, and her capacity to bond. And if it's not there, walk away. Don't try to fix her. Don't try to force it. Protect yourself. A good way to predict whether a woman is likely to be the promiscuous type is to ask her about her relationship with her father when she was growing up. In most cases, a poor relationship with her father leads to personality flaws that make a woman more likely to become promiscuous. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Until next time.